What up, what up, what up? We are live, back, uncut with your boy Power XL Official. Time to hit it live, time to get on the next one, brother. And another one. And we're about to take a look at a next level Karen. I know the president stopped making announcements, but we're going to keep it going. This is
I don't
crazy.
know why this happened, but somehow there was a mistake somewhere in the production budget or the production schedule, and so this is where we're at.
Do you accept their right to do that and their opinion of him?
Well, I respect their right to do that. I question why the first time in American history a president has won every swing state and is also best friends, and his largest donor was a man who owns and runs the internet.
So in our society, we have two groups of people that are causing all of the problems. There are Karens and there are incels. And I would like to refer back to that point that I've made. Here you go. There it is.
That's
said it.
You did
I've been
say
trying
it.
to tell y'all.
So I would hope that that would be investigated and that we would see whether
We need to do an investigation into how does Elon Musk own all of the internet. Right.
or not it was an anomaly or something else that happened.
Oh, she's insinuating that the election was stolen. Okay, I understand now. Okay, yeah, I get it.
So I would hope that that would be investigated and that we would see whether
We
or not
already
it was an anomaly or
investigated it.
something else that happened
Something else that happened. What do you mean by that?
on election night in America when Kamala Harris was filling up stadiums with people who supported
She
her.
wasn't.
And Donald Trump was not able to do that.
She was filling up stadiums with people who were looking for the performance of the pop star that she paid to be there and sing. And then after the pop stars left, so did everybody else. Yeah, that's the reason why there were a lot of people showing up. And also, by the way, Trump had tons of people show up to his rallies too.
So it's curious to me. And as an American and a believer in democracy, I would hope that we would be able to look at all of the reasons why this happened in our country.
As a believer in democracy, I really don't like the fact that people voted against what I think they should have voted for.
So I would hope that that would be investigated.
Yeah, of course. I think that makes a lot of sense. And I don't even know what to say.
Conor McGregor ended up in the Oval Office this week. What do you think that says about the state of US politics?
It's very depressing. And it seems very strange to me that the President of the United States has so many friends who are sexual abusers.
Oh?
Conor McGregor.
She's mad, bro. Like, she's real mad.
Rosie O'Donnell, star of the Flintstones. And tomorrow, which is Friday, March 21st,
Man.
I'm going to be on The Late Late Show here in Ireland. It's
Oh,
live
boy.
from 9:30 till 11 p.m. And it's the longest running live talk show
Is this going
in the
for
world.
10 minutes?
And I don't have a chef now. Please, getting too political. Hold, please. Elastic waist pants for a very long time. Politics.
Oh, no.
And, you know, when I told the truth about him, he went nutso. Enough with old white guys who don't stand up for what's right. One more thing, I just watched it back. I know that I say she a lot with Clay, and I really need to use they, them as the tattoo I got right there on my wrist. They, which is backwards for you, it looks like yet. Y-E-H-T, yet. But
I really hope Ireland keeps her. I do. I do. I hope, please, guys, can you just do us a favor? Can you just hold on to her? Like, yeah, this is it. Like, yeah, keep her there at mental health care. That's just nuts, man. Who is this? Who is this retarded? I guess her. Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Do you
Let me
accept?
see if there's any more clips of this. Okay. All right, we'll watch one more.
Well, there's the President of the United States that has it out for me and has for 20 years when I told the truth about him on a program called The View, where it was my job to talk about pop culture, politics.
Oh, God, bro. Like, it's just so important. Yeah, I know. It's just...
And I mentioned his bankruptcies, and I mentioned all
Yeah.
of the sexual assault charges, and I mentioned that he was not, in fact, the businessman that everyone thinks he is because of the show The Apprentice, where they sold a bunch of lies to America for over 10 years, and half of America believed it. And so he was very angry, to say the least.
Yes.
And he hasn't let it go, and he sort of uses me as a punchline whenever he feels the need.
Well, you say he uses,
Yep. It's about right.
you as a punchline. He was meeting the Taoiseach,
Yes.
Micheál Martin.
And this is what she's referring to, by the way.
One of the things people love about you is you speak your mind and you don't use a politician's filter. However, that is not without its downsides, in particular when it comes to women. You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only
has
Rosie
several-
O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
Your Twitter account...
oh,
Listen to the crowd. That's what's crazy about it. The crowd is just going absolutely fucking wild. So yeah, she's still mad about that.
In the Oval Office last week. You're over here, kind of minding your own business.
Yes.
And this happens.
Ireland is known for very happy, fun-loving people, great attitude, many in this room right now that I've met. Why in the world would you let Rosie O'Donnell move to Ireland? I think she's going to lower your happiness.
I love how Trump is like, that's a great question. Look what he does.
Move to Ireland. I think she's
He's
going to
like,
lower...
yeah, that's
That's completely based.
It's true.
very
Thank you.
true.
I like that question. Do you know you have Rosie O'Donnell? Do you know who she is?
Do you know who she is?
I'm joking.
You're better off not. You're better off
You
not.
better.
Yeah, there it is. There he is in all
Yeah.
his glory.
How does it feel watching that?
Very, very surreal, I have to tell you. He's been doing it for 2 decades, and I'm still not used to it every time he does. But,
Yeah.
you know, I felt
You have a
very,
resting bitch face, Rosie.
troubled.
We're seeing, and this is the reason, is that there's a bunch of other Karens
We
with
can
the
tell
winged,
what's
the
going
winged
on.
glasses that, you know, have like nose rings and everything that are getting mad about this. They had no problem sitting around talking shit on him, but the moment that he does it, suddenly now I'm getting bullied. Yeah, for sure.
You can sit on your talk shit
that
shit all
they put the
day.
Taoiseach in that position and didn't treat him with the respect that a leader of that kind deserves when they're visiting the White House. And I wrote the Taoiseach with a little note, apology to his email, and got a note back that they had received it and thanked me. But I just wanted him to know the history and what happened and why he seems to be out to get me in ways that are startling to most.
Man. This is
Startling.
why you don't do debates in front of live. Why they don't do debates in front of live audiences? Yeah, I guess so, right? And yeah, it's like when they go to your boss, the coworker, and they go to your boss, then the owner. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
No, we are seeing a complete breakdown in the Karenocracy of the country. I am so glad to fucking see this. Thank fucking God. These people have been ruining everything for 20 years. Oh my God, it is exhausting. So yes, I'm very glad to see this.
I'm
it's an
so
amazing
glad.
thing. I'm very happy. And yeah, they're bad for any political party. I mean, they're bad for a lot of different reasons, but I'm just glad to see it happening, right? Let's see here. And you're seeing a lot of red in the market as well. Oh, I mean, like, yeah, stock market's going to go up and down for sure. I mean, by the way, like, I mean, sure, that's going to happen. Absolutely. You're totally right. Yeah, what has this woman said before to warrant this behavior? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. In my opinion, what have people like Trump and Elon Musk and other people randomly said and done to warrant the other behavior? The fact is, like, maybe it's something that happened. I don't know. And Trump is an asshole, by the way. He is. He's a massive fucking asshole. And if someone's that much of a fucking dickhead, maybe you shouldn't start trouble with them, right? I mean, maybe that's just me. Maybe that's not a great idea. So, yeah, she literally started it unprompted in the 90s. Yeah, she always yapping and talking shit. No, and this is the thing, and this is what people love to do. They love to yap and talk shit about other people that are in a higher position than they are, but the moment that they get called out, now they're being bullied.
Yeah, literally.
Guys,
Oh, we've
I'm
been
being bullied
bullied.
now. Oh, they're being mean to me. What is this?
Oh, yeah, out of the blue.
Appeals court will hear arguments on whether Donald Trump and his administration can continue deportation fights for suspected migrant gang members living in the U.S. We're going up the court system again.
Madeline Rivera joins us from Washington, D.C. with the details. Good morning, Maddie.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, the Trump administration is defiant. They say they have the authority to deport migrants whom they say are national security threats. They are expected to double down on that argument today. This comes as the administration's standoff with federal judge James Boasberg escalates. Boasberg calls the president's expanded use of the Alien Enemies Act problematic, and he's also promising to find out whether the administration flouted his order to turn deportation flights to El Salvador back around. Border Czar Tom Homan says the administration will not defy court orders. However, Homan is also taking aim at Boasberg.
No, I don't care what that judges think. As far as this case, we're going to continue to arrest public safety threats and national security threats. We're going to continue to deport them from the United States. As far as the Venezuela,
it's crazy how these people always end up on the side of illegal migrant gang members.
I know.
How do you always end up on that side? Isn't that interesting? How is it that you always side with the people that are terrorists? Wow. What are the odds?
Yeah. Good question.
Was that flight? Every single one, according to the information
What
given
side
to me.
of due process? You really think, where's the due process for people getting fired from their jobs from COVID? Where's the due process for people that are getting arrested and put in jail after January 6th? No, bro, like, absolutely fucking not. You're not going to use this due process argument on me when, no, these people don't give a fuck about due process. They care about losing some sort of political ground. That's it.
From the field are members of the TDA. And TDA has been determined to be terrorist organizations. They are now classified as terrorists, so that plane removed 240 terrorists from the United States.
Due process should be given now, even if it wasn't before. I think it should be too, but I don't like, if you want to look at it from, this is what my perspective is, right? I think that they should always listen to what the court says, but if there's a way that you can use a rule to avoid that, I agree with the premise of getting rid of these people and deporting them. I don't care if they're going to El Salvador. I don't care if they're going to the moon. I just don't want them here. So really, you're right. They do have to follow the due process. But if the due process can be subverted with an old rule, that sounds good to me.
Is litigated. Deportation flights to Venezuela are back on after the country's president, Nicolas Maduro, halted flights earlier this month. Venezuelan officials say a deal with the U.S. had been reached. The Department of Homeland Security says the first flight arrived on Sunday. It had 199 people, including some whom the administration says are suspected gang members. And Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is planning to visit Central America this week. Her visit will kick off on Wednesday with a tour of El Salvador's Terrorism Confinement Center. A DHS spokesperson, Tricia McLaughlin, telling Fox News Digital that Noem and the president are sending a clear message for criminal aliens considering entering America illegally. Don't even think about it.
That's another thing, too, is if things aren't going well for them, then they're going to get got. And you're going to have less people coming over and causing problems. I know that you accept that there will be collateral, but there's an amount of innocent immigrants that will get caught up when you draw the line for. But is there a line? Well, whenever you say innocent immigrants, you're talking about people that are illegally here, right? So then the entire premise of them being innocent doesn't exist.
There is no innocent
and this is, again,
immigrant.
I'm not going to play your game with vocabulary because it's inherently deceptive.
Legitimately
she will also meet
misrepresenting what immigrant really is.
All right.
They're trying to trick you?
Is it clear to you? I'll talk to you later.
Go ahead, man. Is Maddie still there?
Yeah.
I'm still here, yes.
Yeah, so Maddie, is it clear to you what we did to get the flights back on track to Venezuela?
You know, I didn't actually...
It's not a game, dude. What the fuck? Random people being deported into a country they aren't from into a supermax prison? Yeah. Don't come here if you're not supposed to be here. Yeah. If you're part of an illegal gang, it could be a lot worse. They didn't have to come here.
See details regarding the deal that Venezuelan officials say had been reached with the U.S.
That's not
there
random.
was a post on X regarding it, but it's in Spanish, so I'm hoping that I can get a translation. But I looked into this, Brian, and I actually didn't see details regarding how and the details of that deal.
Yeah, same with me. I think it's something to do with Chevron. I think that they want to keep up that, so that's what I assume. But thank you very much.
That's exactly why it was halted in the first place.
Maddie, you can send it to me.
I know. I thought about it, Rachel.
Absolutely.
As soon as I said it, I was like, I know Rachel can do it.
All right. Thank you,
Thanks,
Maddie.
guys.
I watched all the Sunday shows yesterday, and I was just stunned. They pretty much dedicated the full hours talking about the flights that went over, except for they weren't advocating for the American people who have been victimized by the illegals.
This is the problem, is that the entire fixation is around trying to drum up empathy for people that are here illegally when other
After
people
they've
have
been killing and raping
and somehow we're
our
not supposed
people.
to care.
Yeah.
That's it. Is people are trying to weaponize the average person's empathy against them in order to make them complicit with allowing a bunch of people to come over and basically, I think, play a long game of adding voters into a different area. That's the reason. Want to have judicial proceedings to prove their case? The judge today had a good line about how Nazis receive better treatment. Well, the moment that somebody's using the word Nazi, I'm going to immediately stop paying attention to them. And by the way, maybe that was a good example in this one circumstance, but with the amount of times that I've heard the word Nazi used in the past, like, fucking 10 years, I think that I probably heard it used effectively in a way that makes sense once.
True.
So people that are trying to Trinidad or MS-13, they talked about the one-off that could maybe should have their cases reviewed. But I was looking at this story. A grandmother was murdered, and this guy right here, if you can just throw up his mugshot, he was subject to deportation in 2023 under the Biden administration, but he murdered a grandmother. It was no cause to do this. Obviously, there's never a cause, but it was a random attack, and he was going to get away with it before the Trump administration. And he's not the only one, Rachel. I got like 3 other different cases.
These are the people that these guys are so adamantly defending in chat. This is it. They're trying to bring up this is the due process. For sure. You're not even supposed to be here and you're charged with a murder. Wow. Wow, what are the odds?
This was in my home state of Texas. Look at these menaces to society. Driving drunk.
Texas.
Committed manslaughter. The kid was like 20-some year old. And
this is what they're defending, bro. It's sad. Don't generalize it. We're talking about the suspects. How do you how do you judge deported suspects? Well, it's simple. They're not supposed to be here. Get the fuck out. What do you mean? It's such an easy premise. Why do you make it complicated? It's not complicated at all. There's nothing complicated about this.
Is a car was just parked on the side and they hit him and killed him. These are the people that you should be talking about on your Sunday shows instead of the criminals.
So it's interesting to see what
you're defending people that kill grandmas, that are sex traffickers, and that are driving around drunk. And oh yeah, I'm sure all three of these guys are innocent actually, and they didn't do it. And it's you know, oh no, that's not it. Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, they shouldn't have been here in the first place to even get charged with the possibility of doing it.
Exactly.
What kind of a fucking racist logic is that? Well, let me go back and let me explain this. What do you think is racist about this? I'm curious. What do you think is racist about what I'm saying? Assuming that they're guilty because they're immigrants, what does that have to do with race? Because they are immigrants, what do you mean? So
immigrant is not a race.
Have to do with race? Is immigrant a race? No, but we're talking about Venezuelans. So why is it racist? You're saying they're guilty because you're saying they're guilty because of their race?
What is this guy?
It's implied with your statement. Okay, so then you agree with me whenever. So I didn't say it then, right? You aren't talking about white immigrants? I've said it plenty of times. Can you find me a clip of me saying that I think that we should deport people based off of race? I think the only time I ever said that was talking about like Karens, like white older Karens. So if anything, I'm racist against white people. That was the only time I probably ever said that. And incels, yeah. So let me get this straight. They never use the country of origin in any of these discussions? Well, it doesn't matter where the origin country is. And the reason why it doesn't matter is because it's not racist. If they were from Canada, I'd say the same thing. If they were from Germany, I'd say the same thing. If they were from Africa, I'd say the same thing. If they're from Venezuela, I'd say the same thing. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter where they're from. All illegal immigrants are not 100% from Venezuela. Of course not. And and the reason why I went through this with this person is that I just want you to see, yes, you said it plenty of times. Well, here, how about this? If I've said it plenty of times, you should go back in those clips, find the clip where I said that people should be deported based off of their race, and report me to Twitch, and I'll get banned. Because that's racist to say, and being racist on the platform is a bannable offense. So, yeah, just go report me. If you know that I said it on the platform, then report me, and we'll find out whether that happened or not. And by the way, we all know it didn't happen because you're making this up. This entire premise that any sort of criticism or complaining, and this is, again, another person here. If we go back over here, let's take a look at it again. This is a person, they are immigrants. They're not immigrants, they are criminals that have come here. This is not an immigrant. An immigrant is a person who has followed the protocol and they have lawfully immigrated to the country. This is an illegal alien. This is two very different things. Why even bother? Well, the reason why, you said about Muslims before and you were banned, right? No, that was something completely different, number one. Number two, I was talking about a specific group of people, not just Muslims in general. Number three, I said I was wrong for saying that, and I acknowledged that I was wrong. And so wouldn't that also make your argument, or make what I'm saying even stronger? If I got in trouble for that before, and I'm not getting in trouble for it now, wouldn't that serve as evidence that maybe I'm not doing anything wrong? And if you think that I am, maybe you should report it to Twitch. There's no, you're not thinking at all. There's no thinking at all involved in this. And I just want you to know that, like, this is the, how do you know they're illegal? Because they were found to be illegal and they received deportation orders in 2023. That's what they just said about the other guy. How do I know that they're illegal? Because the government says that they're illegal. How do you know anything? Like, what do you mean? How do I know? They're in jail for murder, nothing about it being illegal. It literally... I just want you guys to see U.S. citizens also commit murder. That's not what's being discussed at all. That's never what's being discussed. And so anyway, I just want you guys to see that this is the mind of one of these defenders. There's no logic, no rationality, no thinking. It's just an emotional outburst with literally nothing behind it at all. The irony of his name being Logic is nuts. I know. Like, it's just sad. It really is fucking sad.
Oh
and,
my
they're so
gosh.
retarded it's unbelievable. Well,
It is unbelievable.
It really.
Blows
But I just
my
want you guys to
fucking
see
mind.
that. Like, occasionally I like going through the thought process of these people and showing people in chat that it is completely fucking paper thin. And the moment that this is questioned, as most people don't want to like push back on something being racist and like they're afraid of being called that, so like they'll just like immediately back down. No, I know that I'm not a racist, and anybody that knows me knows that, and so I have no problem talking about this freely, and I don't need to mince my words or add in 1,000 disclaimers, etc., because anybody that knows me knows that, and you know, all you have to do is look at my whole life. It's just it's total bullshit. They really do have nothing? No, they don't.
The families who
It's
are
sad.
involved in
It's
pushing
really
back.
sad.
That's so fucking
nursing.
sad.
My
Grab him
family
for
member is
straws.
not in Tren de Aragua. My family member is not MS-13. That tattoo you see,
That's
one
crazy
of them
to
said,
observe. I
is
know.
Real Madrid. It's the soccer team. They're not in a gang. Don't send them to El Salvador. But all of these people could have self-deported. They saw, you know,
100%.
they saw what was going
They
to
could have
happen.
left. Yep.
Now listen,
They
if
could have left.
you came here illegally and you were just going to be, you know, an illegal Uber driver, maybe, and you got sent to that prison, I understand this is a big deal. But the point is, you're not supposed to be in the country, and that is the chance that you're taking by being here, especially if you commit a crime.
And to me, if you're looking to do a balance show, you start off
I think
by
if you want to make people stop coming into a country, punish the ones that come into the country heavily, and then they'll stop coming in.
Yeah.
That's how to make it stop. Like, I'll give you an example, and this isn't what I'm not advocating for this, but I'm just giving you an example. If every single time that you were pulled over for drunk driving and you took a breathalyzer and you were over the legal limit, the police officer pulled out their gun and shot you in the head, nobody would drunk drive. The amount of it would go down by 99%. If you want to change behavior, change incentives. It's that simple.
saying border crossings are down 96%. It's almost impossible to conceive or predict this type of success. Also, when you talk about what's happening with this El Salvador crime, you want to know about the 260...
Very dangerous form of logic? No, this logic is how our entire justice system is built. So our entire justice system is built around basically the punishment being greater than the reward, or the risk of punishment being greater than the reward that you get from the crime. And the instances in the cases where it's not, like, for example, a lot of like corporate policy and corporate fines, those are considered to be basically unfair. It's like the, I think it was in like Final Fantasy, they said that, you know, if the only punishment is a fine, then it's simply a crime against the poor. It's a crime that's only for poor people.
Yeah.
The principles are the same. Yeah, of course, I'm not advocating for just shooting people, you know, for drunk driving. Although, like, I mean, if somebody gets hit and they're drunk driving, I don't really care a whole lot, right? But at the same time, you kind of brought it on yourself. But at the same time, my point is that the worse a punishment is, the higher the probability is that people won't do that action. Every type of violent punishment's already been tested to control criminality, and it didn't work. So you're telling me that... Okay, let's talk about a theoretical. There's something, if you are stealing from a store, and the fine for stealing from a store is changed from $100 to $1,000, do you think that would reduce the amount of people stealing from the store? How does it take you more than 3 seconds to figure this out? Well, okay. Anyway, so I just want you guys to see again, the moment that these people get confronted with any sort of even slight logic, they immediately roach out and fall apart. It's again, and it's very simple to understand. You literally didn't give them the chance to reply. Well, there's no reason to. It's either a yes or a no. If you're adding in anything other than yes or no, the reason why is probably because you know that you're wrong and you're trying to pad you being wrong with some other qualifying statement to defend yourself. That's the reason why. And everybody knows it.
One that was sent to El Salvador last weekend. Suddenly they're
yes
first
or no
front
question.
and center.
Yeah,
Do you want
simple.
to ask how they got here to begin with? Do you want to ask how they infiltrated these cities, the damage they have done? Have you thought about the balance of it? And if someone's caught up there that shouldn't be, there's an interesting inquiry you could have there. If there's a way to do this, because we need to send more people to El Salvador. I don't know about you, Rachel. I love your contacts more than mine. But I worry about once they get to Venezuela, if they're going to come right back. And when I go to when they go to El Salvador, I know they're not, because they cleaned up their entire country by jailing all their gangsters. So I look forward to seeing what Kristi Noem sees when she gets there. But I do think that Tom Homan was questioned constantly about this. They want Trump to say, I'm defying the courts. They want Tom Homan to say, I'm defying the courts. They're waiting for a Trump official so they can say, all hell is broken.
Yeah, exactly. And they're doing that in order to get media ratings. I don't think that they really care about it, but it's just a very good headline for them to be able to say that.
Broken loose. A democracy is breaking down, but it hasn't happened. They're going to go up the ladder all the way through.
So is what the judge asking that in order to send them to El Salvador, you have to have proof that they were in a gang, or is breaking the law and entering our country that's not enough?
But the president is saying under the act that you don't have to show. You don't have to do this due process. So you have a constitutional right that is actually they are afforded to illegals in this country. We should revisit that. But then you have a competing act that is saying, hey, if someone is a part of a foreign terrorist organization, that you don't have to give them due process and they can be deported. Now, the agents that I talked to,
they have to prove that they were actually
part of the group.
Or MS-13. Or
exactly. And so what the agents are saying is, because you hear all these activists keep talking about the tattoos. We're not just talking about the tattoos. That's just one of the elements. We sat on their house, and part of the reason why we don't want to reveal some of this information is because some of the people that got the information are undercover. So if we...
That's also a good point, yeah. It's like a lot of these people that they're finding, they're not going to just go out and explain exactly what their process and methodology was for finding them, is because then the people that are also here can reverse engineer that.
Are bringing out our sources and
100%.
methods, we're going to burn our sources that are still within the organization.
I think that's a great point with your law enforcement background, especially. But I also think it's not practical to think that we can do due process on 8 million people.
No.
There's 22 million people here, and minimum illegal already just in the last 3 administrations. And there's some people that got through with Trump's administration. If we're going to give these guys a day in court and a lawyer, we can't do it. They don't deserve it. Our system doesn't need to be double burdened. And I would just love to see the same curiosity, anger, outrage about the millions that came here at our border. You found the NGOs.
Yeah.
You couldn't get into the building.
So true.
But they were sent into Westchester, small towns into Pennsylvania, and they're unloaded, and we don't know anything about them.
I saw the video
Where was
on that.
Margaret Brennan and who's ever hosting Meet the Press today?
Welcome.
Where were they? Curious about what's going on. How do we know who's landing in the middle of the night? How do we know who's been put into our school systems then? If you were at least outraged then, you'd have more credibility now. But now you're concerned that this was a tattoo arrest. It wasn't a tattoo arrest. And as much as it pains me to say
it's another oversimplification. And I think that that's the reason why these people do this. It's an oversimplification in order to make it seem ridiculous in the eyes of the public. Why do these people want those violent criminals to stay? Because they've been brainwashed into hating their country. That's the reason why. It's that simple. Yeah, I mean, it's really just that simple. I mean, like, and all you have to do is
They
go on
literally
Twitter
hate
and
all
see
of
what people
us.
are saying. That's 100% what it is.
Just because you're a professional soccer player, it doesn't mean that you're a great person and weren't up to no good when you escaped and got across our border. If you were that good, you could have been transferred to another team.
I don't care what that judges think. As far as this case, we're going to continue to arrest public safety threats and national security threats. We're going to continue to deport them from the United States. The Alien Enemies Act was actually a federal law. It's a statute enacted by Congress and signed by a president. Now, that's under litigation. But put that aside, we still have Title VIII authority to remove illegal aliens from the United States.
Do they have any due process at all?
Look, due process. What was Laken Riley's due process?
Good point. Border czar Tom Homan vowing to continue deportations, never saying he's going to
be so brainwashed in their own country. The reason why, and this is also another big issue, is that I think a lot of really dumb people buy into stuff like this, and the reason why they buy
Where's
into
the due
it
process
is
for the
that
people
they don't
getting
understand
killed?
Any secondary effects that happen when a person like that comes into the country? They don't understand, like, for example, like the kind of like economy that it creates for identity theft. They don't understand the economy that it creates for other forms of theft and stealing and breaking the law. And now it's like, okay, well, now you have companies that are paying them under the table, and this affects other companies. No logic is motion. Yeah, you have to think more than one step ahead, because like a lot of these problems, they create a cascade domino effect to a lot of other things on top of that. I don't understand how due process applies to illegals. There should be no due process, just deportation. I don't know. I think that like whenever you're saying due process, there is a different process for different people for different reasons, right? Like due process for one person is going to be different than another person because of the nature of the crime, right? So like, for example, like giving somebody death penalty is a much higher level of due process than arresting them and putting them in jail overnight for being drunk, right? There's like much more legal proceedings and legal information. Does that make sense?
To defy the court, by the way. This ahead of a hearing today on the Trump administration's decision to send migrant gang members to a maximum security prison in El Salvador. Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett joins us now. Greg, it looks like first off, we're moving to a different court on the freezing of the flights, but we're still in the lower court with the judge who wants to know more details about why those flights took off on last Saturday. So can you update us from how you see this going?
Well, the district court judge, Brian, his name is Boasberg, he set a court hearing for tomorrow, but the higher appellate court has a hearing today to decide whether to toss out the judge's temporary restraining order on these deportations. So for now, the appellate court has jurisdiction, but it really depends on what they do today. What's so troubling, I think, about Boasberg's restraining order is that he is defying the Supreme Court, which reviewed Harry Truman's use of the Alien Enemies Act after World War II ended. And the High Court said that not only is the act constitutional under the law of the land, it is not subject to judicial review by any judge. So when a president invokes it, no judge, no court can ever intervene, not even the Supreme Court, because Congress gave the president the exclusive power that is purely political to make decisions on national security and foreign policy. Well, Boasberg is duty-bound, Brian, as a lower court judge to follow the ruling of the highest court, the Supreme Court, and butt out. And yet he is brazenly ignoring the Supreme Court precedent.
I think this is also the issue. This is and I'm also probably included this in like to an extent. Is that's why I'm really talking about like what I think it should be rather than like what it is. Is that it does seem like it seems to me like there's a problem when like one judge can end up telling the entire country and the federal government that they can't deport people that are illegal immigrants. Like that seems like a very bad problem to have. It doesn't make sense to me. Now, obviously, that could still be the way it has to be, but it sure doesn't seem logical.
What is the answer here?
They'll just take it to court
and break is not necessarily going to be friendly to the Trump administration. So they'll keep, once these both of them make a decision, they'll keep moving up this entire case, right?
Yeah, I think so. This is, again, strictly a TRO hearing today in the appellate court, temporary restraining order. Although I suspect they may start talking about other things, like has this judge exceeded his authority on other grounds, which I think he has. It's not a friendly court. It's an uphill battle for the Department of Justice on behalf of President Trump.
Right.
So if they uphold the TRO, it goes back to the trial court judge. We see what he does, and then on the
Somebody goes, if there's no due process, they may come for you next. What if you were swept up in an ice sweep? You'd want a process to explain that you don't belong there. Yeah, guys, what if I randomly get arrested by ICE for being an illegal immigrant, gang member, and I get sent to El Salvador? Of course. Yeah, like, what if that happened to you? Oh my God.
merits.
Jesus Christ.
It'll be appealed by the Department of Justice, again, going to higher and higher courts. Eventually, I think, to the U.S. Supreme Court, Brian.
What the
So
fuck?
let's look at the bigger picture. Our injunction numbers are unbelievable. If you look at the past presidents, we got George W. Bush with 6, Obama with 12, Biden with 14. In their entire administrations, Trump too has got 15 already. So is there something cooking in Congress to stop this trend and actually give a administration a chance to implement their policy?
There is, because Democrats and liberal groups have been sprinting to favorable venues and preferable judges where the result is preordained in their favor against Trump. It's known derisively as judge shopping, completely unethical. And many of these restraining orders have one common denominator. They're ordered by Democrat-appointed judges, exceeding their authority, contorting the law to do it. They are essentially usurping the power
They're
of the president.
probably all gonna
and
get
violating
fired.
the separation of powers. It's
I
got
think that's what happens. They literally sent people who weren't illegal and not part of gangs, idiot. This is a person that's like typed this over and over and over. You are going to get banned for spamming, but I will respond to this just for a minute. There is literally not a single rule or policy in the entire government that has not had collateral damage. If your argument is that because certain policies can have collateral damage, then we shouldn't have them, you would be arguing to get rid of all prisons. That's the way it works. There, of course, will be collateral damage. Of course, that's what happens.
stop. Congress can act. Senator Hawley is prepared to introduce a bill to limit the authority of these judges. Because remember, Congress created the court system and the judges, and they can limit and circumscribe their authority.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. You know what? It should, you want to have fairness, but this just seems to be politics at play, using the court system for the wrong reason. All right, thanks so much, Greg. Always great to start our week with you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian
Definitely
Gilman.
what it
Very
is.
funny that these are the kinds of people that constantly go and always find themselves arguing against the country and in favor of terrorists, illegal immigrants, gang members, and drug dealers. It always feels very interesting to me that it seems to be that thing every single time. What are the odds?
Yeah, literally.
Okay. And let me go back over. Notice how the right haven't doxed the judge or burned his car to the ground for this? Funny that. Yeah, it's really interesting. And finally, he's smart enough to argue. Well, I have no problem with people that want to present like a different viewpoint, but if you're doing it in a way that's disrespectful or rude, then no, I don't really want to deal with that, right? Let's probably talk about. Let me see here. The argument is assuming people are innocent rather than making the assumption that they're guilty. Well, the argument is that there was no assumption made. Like, do you really think that they just randomly picked all of these people up and they didn't even know what they were and they sent them immediately over to El Salvador? Like, I don't think that happened. I mean, maybe it did, but like, and also they're not going to explain their reasoning. Yes, I don't think that's what happened, guys. Like, let's be honest, some of them, yes, yeah. Why can't we be sure? Because probably the process of being sure could break the cover or the way that the policy and the way that they found the people. That's the reason why. It's actually quite simple. I do think there are some cases. And yeah, also, by the way, I'm sure that there are going to be some negative circumstances and some things that go wrong on purpose. Or sorry, not on purpose, but mistakes happen, right? Mistakes happen for everything. But the thing is that if you're afraid of making a mistake, you won't do anything. Every single law has people that get charged unfairly for it. Every single prison has people that are there that shouldn't be there. There's no logic that like, okay, well, if you do something and, you know, if one person is negatively affected by this, we should throw the entire thing out. Well, okay, then we wouldn't have any laws. That's the reality. There's no laws about this at all. You clearly don't understand the cases. That are extremely bad mistakes, deporting completely innocent people. I think that sure, of course it happens, but like it's probably not going to happen that often. And also, you should probably ask yourself, what about the people that allowed it to happen and allowed millions of people to come into the country to turn it into a massive crisis where there are literally probably over 10 million illegals that have caused this problem? Like, why is it not ever referred to back onto them? Like, innocently, illegally here. Yeah, bro, like, it's not
innocently, illegally here. Anyway, yeah, I love it.
And I know that there's a lot of people that like defending that kind of stuff, but no, I don't have any sympathy for it at all, and I don't buy into it at all.
I'm innocently, illegally here.
And then we're gonna move on. It's 20 million, by the way. People say 12, 20. I think it's between probably 12 and 20, somewhere around there. I mean, maybe it's 8, maybe it's a little bit less, but I think it's probably over 10 million, right? How does a citizen get deported? They need to have records to prove citizenship. It's an impossible mistake. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure mistakes happen, right? But I'd have to go and look at the individual case specifically. I think that would really be it. Let's see here. And I'll read it here. Easy solution. Did anyone with a valid visa get flown out? I have a feeling that probably didn't happen. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, they displaced a bunch of kids, so it's not a far stretch to think they can mess this up too in some case. I mean, I would say that the people that displaced their kids were the ones that brought them over here to the country. If you're bringing your kids over to another country illegally, I think that really the problem lies with the parent or the person that's trafficking them over. I mean, that's what I would say. Those are the people who are in the wrong. And again, it's like, like you're being blamed for addressing the problem, but the people that caused it are somehow not to blame. No, if they caused this problem. What is this? The new Prime Minister of Canada? Is this that Pierre guy?
On the topic, I mean, in terms of your sort of strategy currently.
No.
This is not a weeb game. To be fair, the game was made in Korea, okay?
Wait, I think I played a little bit of that game,
actually. Just because a game is made in Korea doesn't mean that it's a weeb game, okay? Uh-oh. Oh. I don't remember any of this. This is all new. Oh shit.
Damn, what an intro.
Well, now what? The guy's fighting from an older MMO? Is that true? Okay, well that's one hell of a fucking intro. All right, here we go. Let's do it. Let's start. 89th year of the Pelos Empire. The great emperor sentenced great General Kazan and Ozma to the gravest punishment possible for crimes against the empire. Convicted of treason, Kazan endured merciless torture, culminating in the severing of the tendons in both his arms and his exile. Damn. This is a cinematic at the beginning. I saw this one before. He's in the box. They got him. The Emperor sounds like a real asshole. He's a dickhead. New save? It's a new game. We going fresh. That's the Demon Lord.
You are the one we were waiting for.
Oh.
So this is how a hero ends up.
You really think he's a traitor?
Shh. I'm quiet with that kind of talk.
Damn, bro. They know it's bullshit. Oh. Oh! It's Saruman. Damn. Oh. I survived, obviously. Even though I got cut the fuck up.
At last, a physical form.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh. Uh-oh. I'm a fucking demon.
I remember this part at least.
All right, let's fucking do this. All right. Is there anything else we're going? No.
Body.
I can move.
This one we like.
Uh-oh. Arthas, if you resisted Frostmourne? True.
What? What happened?
Uh-oh.
What happened? Your body. It's ours now.
I feel like I'm already kind of fucked. You know, I was already in jail.
Mission requires it. Surrender. Surrender to us now.
I feel like this red demon guy kind of helped us out.
You hear us?
Yeah.
Join us.
I'm kind of on the demon's side. Yeah, he seems like a pretty nice guy.
No. Stop.
Uh-oh. Okay, let's go this way. I have to go to the red thing. Can you play as a girl? No! Oh, shit. It's a bonfire? Yes.
Stop.
This is basically Dark Souls animated.
Then embrace energy of the plane if you want to live.
All right, let's do it.
Your body is fully healed. The power of death cannot claim you now.
That means I respawn.
Do you feel it? The energy of the netherworld.
Damn.
That is what flows through you.
Nice.
Now, join with us.
I got 2 weapons too. So I'm starting out dual wielding. Okay, perfect. All right.
I need to find a way out of here.
Okay, so I can dodge, and then this is parry. Okay, and then charged attack. This is, what does it say? Charged attack. How do I do charged attack? Okay, control is charged attack. That's right. Okay. And then potent, oh, that's potent blow. Okay, so, all right, so control is my, all right, I got it. Escapes main menu, gear. Okay, that's good. And then that's pretty fucking simple. All right. Lock on. Guard, okay. Brink guard, okay, it's pretty simple. It's parry to guard.
Where is he?
Get the fuck out of here, pussy. Fuck you. Okay, we got him. Easiest game of my life, by the way. Maybe we go this way?
I definitely struggled, that's for sure. When I started.
Oh, fuck. Okay. There we go. Okay, I shouldn't have done that. Oh no, I died. Shit, I didn't realize that happened. Okay. Oh fuck. I already got killed. Gamer? Yeah, I know. Maybe I should do more of those. Yeah, maybe I should do more of those big attacks. Okay, now I know what to do, though. It should be easy. Just a minute. Okay. Jesus Christ, I'm so bad, bro. I'm so bad. Got him. Okay. Damn, that did a lot of damage. Oh, wait. Big dick. Oh, shit. All right, we fucking got him that time. I don't know how I messed it up the first time. Okay, gear. Okay, I got a helmet. Okay, now we've got our helmet on. That's really good. Look at me now. Oh, I'm looking real good. And we have a chest, too. Going to cave? There is no cave. Hunter's Ring. Okay, let me equip that too. Potent blow attack damage. Okay, so that's I guess that's for my heavy attacks. Big loot? Yeah, it is big loot actually. Okay. Nice. And can I upgrade my stats? Yeah. I'm gonna put another point into health. Health is, I mean, it's obviously the right decision. Yeah, those heavy attacks are actually really good. I feel like in a big way, I should probably just use those most of the time. Yeah, that's way better. Dodge, okay. Pretty simple. That guy hit me. Got him. Gotcha, bitch. All right. I thought I could parry quickly, but I wasn't able to. Okay, and then alt to run back and attack them, okay. I already kind of understood that, but all right, well, now we know. Okay, so you can just go behind and execute them. And that does a lot of fucking damage, holy shit. Okay. Mid-air attack. If I remember right, this game, the way it works is it like the air attacks do a lot of damage, like in Dark Souls 1. Oh. Oh. All right, let's go back around. Stagger. Potent bro break their stance. Okay, so I literally just spam heavy attacks anyway. Easiest game of my fucking life. Okay. I also just got a new item too. Give me a minute. Inventory, what does this lantern do? Illuminates? Okay. I guess I'll use that just so the lantern's on. And then we also got gloves as well. So now I have defense at gloves. Okay, perfect.
A lacrima, a tear, a soul. Accept it. It will give us strength.
Soul tear dust. I don't know what that does.
Now you too will hear the memories of the dead.
Oh, is that good? I think like that's bad, right? Why do I want to hear the memories of the dead? Combat feels so good. Yeah, combat does feel good so far. Okay, upgrading stats. All right, so we're gonna go with... I'm thinking that... I think that we should put points into strength. Yeah, let's put points into strength, and then we're gonna do a little bit more into stamina too. We'll go down first. It doesn't matter. Okay, now it kind of matters.
Let's get some GTA booted up. Oh, another update. Okay. Small one, but yet another. Jammies. This game always takes forever to boot. Yeah, get me out of there before I get trolled.
How you doing?
Holy shit. Ripping in the tank.
Business isn't exactly booming, you know. Well,
Ready for some real excitement? Bet on the ponies at the Inside Track, the premier horse racing lounge at the Diamond Casino and Resort.
Had to spend worth some money. Yeah. Yeah. They're right in my bank account. I called it. I should grab some body armor.
There we are, all yours. They offered me a job in corporate. I said no. This is where I belong. There you go.
Next. On the road again, flying above the road. If I need to get resupply or what. Sucker. And get a big amount and try and get some help. Nowhere near enough. I gotta wait for my stock to go up. I'll make it back. guys. I'm gonna hop off for a little bit. I'll catch y'all later tonight. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe for more. We're gonna hit y'all back up later, so hang tight, stay tuned, and have a good one, guys. Get out of this. All right, man. Have a good